In this video, I will be explaining direct characterization. When you are reading and can identify the personality traits of a character, you are using characterization. Direct characterization is when the author tells the reader what the character is like. The author might describe the personality in the text or have another character explained through dialogue. Whichever way the author decides to do it, they are directly telling you the personality trait of the character. You can identify character traits in two ways. If the author states the character trait in the text, it might sound something like this. Miguel was intelligent and a good student. He never had less than a 95% in all his classes and rarely ever missed an assignment. He hoped to go to Princeton one day for college. So as you can see in this example, the author tells us Miguel's personality. Miguel is smart and gets good grades. The author might also state a character trait by using dialogue. Another character will describe the person while they're speaking. So for example, OMG, Jane is like so totally mean, Ruby cried as she hugged her pillow. I can't believe she told everyone my secret. I thought I could trust her. In this example, you could see that the author has Ruby tell us Jane's personality. Jane is not a nice person. While I read this next example, try to identify how the author describes the character. Connor is a dishonest boy with a loud mouth and an obnoxious attitude. He's constantly lying to all his friends and family. Not even his own dog trusts him. In this paragraph, you can read how the author tells us in the text that Connor is dishonest. Instead of giving an example of his behavior, the author starts off by saying that Connor can't be trusted. Let's do the same thing for example 2. How does the author describe the character? My neighbor's dog Princess barked at everyone, showing her teeth. One day I gave her a squeaky toy and Princess ripped its head off in 2 seconds. She was vicious and not to be trusted around children or stuffed animals. So again, the author is using direct characterization to directly tell us in the text that Princess is vicious. In example 3, we'll learn about the character Lindsey's personality. Lindsey picked up 2 brown boxes and carried them to the moving truck. Thank goodness we have Lindsey around, Michelle said to her friend Juan. Yeah, he agreed. She's the most helpful person I know. The author is still giving us Lindsey's character trait, but this time another character is speaking and using dialogue to describe Lindsey. Juan tells us, and Michelle, that Lindsey is helpful. So it doesn't matter if the author states it in the text or uses another character's dialogue. If they tell us a character trait, it's direct characterization. Why is it important to be able to identify character traits? As a reader, you need to be able to analyze how a character's personality affects the story or other characters. A character's personality can influence how they act. We'll look at our 3 characters to see how their traits can affect the story. The author told us that Connor is dishonest. His personality will affect the story because it will make characters not like him. It will be hard to trust anything that Connor says. If he tells someone something, they might not believe him since they know that he lies. The author also told us that Princess is vicious. So her personality will affect the story because it can frighten other characters. She can also be considered dangerous and might end up biting someone. Characters would have to be careful around Princess. Finally, the author used dialogue to tell us that Lindsey is helpful. Her personality will affect the story because characters can rely on her. Lindsey would be the one they call if they need someone to help them out. However, if there is a time when Lindsey doesn't help a friend, the readers will notice and know that something is up with Lindsey. You want to pay close attention to how the author describes the characters because it can help us understand why they act or say a certain thing, or help us make a prediction about some action in the future. Remember, when the author tells you a character's traits, that is direct characterization.